Well, this is Ghost in the Machine. Now, keep in mind, whatever you see here, it can't really represent anything unless you try it in VR. I mean, that can be true to other games, but some of them can be more representative. This one, well, it just can't. And basically, Ghost in the Machine, I'm going to quote, Ghost in the Machine is a short experiment in storytelling about 3 to 6 minutes long, an exploration of what a graphic novel in VR could be like. Now, I have to be honest with you, quite brutally. I mean, I tried different type of apps, graphic novel apps that try to make something special, and most of them didn't even get to the point where I want to cover them because, well, not that interesting. This one is different. Now, I'm not saying there aren't things that can be improved or added, but it's a good start. When you bring a graphic novel in VR, you really need to make the most out of the medium, right? Because again, otherwise, I mean, what's the point? I would prefer just viewing it on my computer. You need to bring extra volley, something unique that really engages the user in a different way. Now, for example, if the camera shifts and it happens in this demo, shifts towards the ground, for example, you have kind of a top view. Of course, you can feel it here, but think about if you had like a panoramic view from a plane at the bottom on the floor, and you can see things from the bottom, or basically just if you are paragliding and you're just viewing things around you, you're looking down, you see beautiful view. It's feel like flying in basically in a world that actually is portrayed by the developer to give you different perspective or glimpse of views into the story as the developer or the storyteller decide to project it. So basically, in terms of viewing experience, it just spoils the player. It feels very comfortable. Again, it's like when you're flying, somebody just take you on a ride and you just need to sit down and enjoy the view, right? It's a kind of a similar experience in that aspect. However, really to make things and really, how do you enhance the drama? Well, there are many ways to do it, because again, you need to have the up and downs, not just by changing text or the what is actually said. If something is said, you need to do it with the visual and in the positioning of the player. So for example, playing with the speed of the camera movement, in that aspect, moving the player, of course not too fast, it can cause some discomfort, but playing with it subtly. You can, for example, use 3D audio alongside some positioning of visual elements to make the player look at certain places, and then the viewer can discover something in that location and continue the visual experience from there. And make some elements connect with the viewer, trying to mix a bit from the classic graphic novel flat visual experience and try to bring more into 3D, but something again that the user can feel. And also, for example, using the controllers in a way that can be partially interactive, or maybe even just using some kind of the vibration just to make something extra so the user can actually feel if something happens. Also adding some subtle visual elements that actually are injected into the 3D space of the user. For example, if there is rain, you can actually add it around the user, and of course with 3D sound, although the user can have kind of a glimpse into certain parts of elements in the story, the graphics might be smaller in certain areas, but make it the entire music, sound, and some of the visual effects kind of portrayed into the 3D space of the user for higher immersion. And the thing is that what happened before, many developers try to stay more loyal to the classic representation of how graphic visual usually view on a regular display. That's why actually that felt that, well, why should I actually view it like that? I just view it on my computer. So you need to really add that extra layer that really create high immersion in VR. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it in the first place. Or maybe if there is a reason, it won't be something super exciting that will get great reviews and people will just, tell each other, wow, look at that, you have to try this one in VR. I also want to see things that where the user will actually be in the front, taking the place of a certain character presented in the visual novel. So you have to see, you can see it from that particular character's perspective. So for example, when you see a character looking at the camera, usually in a visual novel you see the face, right? Some kind of acknowledging the certain position of the user, and that actually projected towards the user rather than maybe just straight on not to it. This can really enhance the immersion and of course the sense of presence, because you are actually getting into the shoes of certain characters in the visual novel. That can be something really amazing. I personally want to see a combination again of, as I told you, 2D and 3D elements, but again keeping the original classic graphic novel representation, but mixing it something that really make good use of the VR medium. I personally want to see AI that actually take a visual novel and just recreate it into a VR app automatically. Just take it and just recreate, imagine it. Don't think that won't be something like it pretty soon. With the speed we're actually we're accelerating exponentially towards this, it will probably be available very soon, if not already exist. So I think something like that can be a great app. Again, if something like that was a VR app that actually takes a novel and just transcend it into a VR experience based on some user input. And the thing that I'm adding it here, because again, those things are going to be also in VR. We're going to be something going to be a reality very, very soon. So when it comes to, especially when it comes to visual novels with something that doesn't really need very high computing power, just taking something and transitioning it into a three-dimensional and playing around with perspective, sounds, and playing with colors and depth. This is something that won't require very high computational power. That's why I think this is something that we're probably going to see very soon. However, this one isn't it, right? This is, from what I understand, this is made, of course, manually by artists, by storytellers, developers who crafted it by themselves. But yeah, it made you think. It's made me think about, the future of storytelling in VR, and also using artificial intelligence to try to create something, take certain graphic novel, maybe one that already exists, and just recreate them with AI and bring them into VR. I think this could be amazing. Just saying. But overall, straight to, I'm carrying away, I know, because my mind just going nuts here. But overall, based on this little experience so far, again, it's not complete. It's a very, very good start, and I was immersed, and that's why I made this video. So definitely worth checking it out. Again, this prologue, if I can call it that, is 3 to 6 minutes long, so definitely worth trying out if you're interested in graphic novels in virtual reality. Thanks for watching, everybody. More coming, so make sure to subscribe to my channel. See you very soon with more content. Thank you.